It doesn't need to be fixed.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amanda Lynne. Subscribe to Raze.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You have made it back to my channel, and I sure as hell appreciate it. It is great to have you back, and it is great to have another single pop video. Not gonna lie, Raze was running out fast and was really nervous that he was gonna have to skip some Tuesdays, maybe put a short up instead because he didn't have any single pop. Because yeah, they just weren't coming out. They weren't coming out very quickly. I mean, obviously Funko's popping stuff out right and left, but it wasn't anything that Raze was really interested in, and that's what happens. Some people will just collect, will just be fine with Funko, and they will just collect whatever they put out. Raze tends to lean towards horror stuff, which they hadn't been doing a lot of, at least not the kind that Raze wanted. Being the superhero fan, obviously I came up with a couple, but thankfully they have put out a couple of lines, and of course when they do start putting it out, they start putting it out in droves. So Raze is scrambling, trying to grab what he can, never knowing what's going to be harder to find later on. It's just like, yeah, we'll work it through. And today we are revisiting the DC universe with the character called Batwing. Now this is a newer character, a new addition to the Bat family, and yeah, there is a good deal of history on this character already, and a lot of links to the past, and not quite sure how I feel about it all, but you know, nothing so bad that Raze just does not like the character. But we're gonna put this guy away, and we are going to talk about this. So the first Batwing was David Zavimbi, I believe his name is, and he was part of the Batman Incorporated. He was the Batman of Africa, and he was created by Grant Morrison, which you know, Raze is the biggest fan of Grant Morrison, and yeah, doesn't really like to go too deep into that. Otherwise, it just becomes a rant against Grant Morrison. But this is one of his characters, and it is. He has since, I'm not sure whether he's retired or if it was just that he, since he was the Batman of Africa, and there was an American character they could go ahead and slot in there, and just went ahead and gave him the suit. I have no idea. I'm not sure if he was killed off at the end of Morrison's run or what. It's hard saying, especially with that guy. But the current, more popular version of Batwing is actually Luke Fox, who is the son of Lucius Fox, who has a long history with Batman. Most people know him from being played by Morgan Freeman in the Nolan trilogy, but Lucius Fox goes way back into the 70s closer, where he was somebody that worked at the Wayne Foundation under Bruce Wayne, or under Thomas Wayne, and was kind of a trusted asset there. And when the Waynes passed on, and Batman was like, okay, I don't really know anything about this business stuff. You know, making money and all that stuff was never something that Bruce Wayne was really interested in. Primarily because he always had it. When you're a at the time millionaire, times changed. They had to make Bruce Wayne a billionaire instead of a millionaire. Oh, that inflation, I tell you. Um, but no, he essentially kept was kind of like guarding Bruce Wayne as he as a favor to his dad, and Lucius Fox would go and make sure that Thomas Wayne's company wasn't driven into the ground, and of course Bruce Wayne, playing his playboy, got everything handed to him routine, which could very well have been reality, but what it really was he was concentrating on his war against crime. So yeah, Lucius Fox, which would look and think, yeah, that's my friend's kid, he's a bit of a lazy dude, was really just the cover that was going on. And Lucius Fox basically ran Wayne Foundation, Wayne Core, Wayne Tech, whatever they call it in this day and age. It's gone through a couple of different names as far as where the Wayne the family fortune came from. But having the adult Luke coming up and being the next generation Lucius Fox, I could kind of see how it was really easy to want to incorporating him more, because while you want to, since he became Lucius Fox became a whole heck of a lot more important in most continuities due to his appearance in the movies, because once the mainstream people know about him, they start looking for him, and I mean, you go back and you're gonna find him, but then they're going to be like, why do they always kind of like toss him aside? He played a big part in those movies. And he did. And he always did play a rather important role in the Batman continuity and DC continuity in general. Because it was the kidnapping of Lucius Fox that made Batman say, hey, we have to go, telling the Justice League, hey, we've got to go do this. We've got to go save this dude. And since it was Markovia, it was kind of a political thing. Lucius Fox was a political prisoner, essentially trying to blackmail the Wayne Foundation into working with them. Yeah, the Justice League's like, dude, we don't do that kind of thing. we don't get involved in politics. We don't get involved in the skirmishes between corporations. And that's when Batman said, screw you guys, I'm gonna make my own team. And that's where the Outsiders came from. So because of Lucius Fox, we got he was very instrumental in creating the whole storyline where Batman leaves the Justice League in order to create the Outsiders. And that tends to get snowed over because they want to have new origins for the Outsiders and how they got together. But that's the original version. Yeah, in order to have the younger version, they needed a younger Luke Fox to be to show up. And he's, of course, he's a genius. He's mixed martial artist. He's all the good stuff that his dad was, but then also altered to become more of an active member of the Bat family. I'm not sure in current continuity whether Lucius Fox knows that Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same. I know they did it in the movie, but that was the first time I'd ever known that there was that he was in on that secret. So I don't know if current continuity keeps it still a secret, or if he just Bruce Wayne had just let Luke know. But at any rate, that's where we are now. Luke is younger. He is a member of the Bat family, and he wears this. The costume has changed. Originally being basically a glider suit. What the original David used to have a glider suit on there to help him navigate, and it was kind of the flyer, I guess you'd say. Luke has taken it to more, has used a lot of Wayne technology to enhance the suit to his own thing. It's self-repairing. Obviously, there's computer information going on in his goggles, because of course there is. And the gliding capability is a lot better. And I think it's self-maintenance on that thing. It actually will repair damage done to it, and it has like a mist thing that he can put out. So there's all kinds of fun things that he can pop out there. But enough for Raze's yakking. We're going to take this out and have a look at it. Yes. Like I said, I'm not really sure which one this is supposed to be representing, but I have a feeling that it is the Luke Fox version. And it will be in Raze's head anyway, because Raze doesn't like Grant Morrison. He's not going to have it. But yeah, this is a really cool one where you get to see the glow and everything, where Batman would tend to enjoy, disappearing into the shadows. He likes to fly up and, let the bat signal fly from him, let them see the glowing, hovering bat over them before he comes and takes them down. It's a great design, and you can tell newer designs tend to not have capes as much as they used to, because while there are practical reasons to have a cape if you're a crime fighter, unless you're Superman, it's too easy to turn it into a hindrance. Batman, of course, uses it for stealth, because Batman understands that the way the human eye works, and he understands how things are seen, and he basically takes the classic ninja, the Japanese ninja, into account how they do that. First, the eye sees movement, second, it sees shape, and third, it sees color. So by having this misshapen bat costume with the cape, it distorts the movement that it's seeing, and being as how it's cloth and it moves in its own different way, it will distort the perception of the person watching. Obviously, the shape, not being human, immediately puts a sense of fear into the person, and then of course, the color blending in with everything, making it harder for the eye to see the color. It all blends into Batman's mystique and when he approaches people. I understand that if you're somebody that doesn't have superpowers, you're not going to want a cape. So I totally understand why this happens, though I understand that he does have gliding capabilities with this suit. So Batwing does have bat wings, but they obviously retract. But this is a very gorgeous figure, and I think it's cute because when years ago, when Raze was dating somebody who was of Japanese descent, didn't really speak English all that well, but we communicated. She knew that Raze was a big Nightwing fan, but she could never get it. She could not sort it in her head, and she used to refer to Nightwing as Batwing. And so when they actually made a character called Batwing, I could just think back and think, man, that girl's probably very confused right now. So there's a little TMI for you. But I hope you've enjoyed this character. Again, it's not one that I'm super familiar with, but I have read some of his stuff, primarily the Luke Fox stuff, but not so much that dry spell where Grant Morrison was writing everything was really, really difficult for me to get through. But yeah, he's a worthy addition to the lovely, lovely Bat family. And depending on how DC wants to keep it that way, he should be a good, strong character for a long time. The biggest problem with Batman's whole mystique is that he's trying to come off as a loner, but yet he surrounds himself with a small family. I mean, you've got all the Robins, you've got, Batwing, you've got the Signal. They're all part of this greater Bat family. Yet the whole time, Batman's supposed to be a loner. And, yeah, DC can never completely decide how they're going to work that, but at the same time, it works either way. And so, as long as the characters are good, and as long as the stories are fun to read, it doesn't matter to Raze which way they go, because they're always going to have Nightwing. They're always going to have Dick in there. And as long as they got Dick, they got something. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.